Hey, Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time we have the Marvel Legends from the Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure wave, the Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure. So this was a wave that I was really anticipating for a long time, and it turned out to be absolutely fantastic. I did expect it to be quite good, and it turned out to be great. There really is not a figure in this wave that I wasn't excited to get, which never really happens. Usually I'm mostly looking forward to the Build-A-Figure, and there might be maybe two characters in the way that I'm actually really looking forward to getting, and then the others either I don't mind or I don't have any interest in, but I'd still buy them to complete the Build-A-Figure. This is one of those rare scenarios where the wave itself, I would have completely bought every single figure from the wave even without the Build-A-Figure pieces. That's just how good the wave is in general. I actually had a lot of fun with this wave, and was one that I was extremely anticipating, and one that certainly did not let me down, and I'm very happy that I did get the set. Obviously, when you do buy all 7 figures, you will be able to complete the Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure. The only figure that's not 100% necessary in getting, or there's actually 2, basically, to build Absorbing Man, you can get all of them except for Gwen, and then you can choose whether you want Morbius or Spider-Man, because Gwen comes with his weapon. His weapon isn't necessary, and if you have some of the other Wrecker figures, you'll actually get a better version of the weapon that she comes with. And then also, he comes with 4 sets of hands, so if you just want 2, you can just buy Spider-Man or Morbius. Something that they did, which was really surprising to me, is that they put a left and right arm with Spider-Man and a left and right arm with Morbius. I would have expected them to put both left arms with Morbius and both right arms with Spider-Man, so that you're forced to buy them both, but they didn't actually do that, which is pretty impressive, and hat off to Hasbro there, because that's obviously an easy way that they could get a little bit more money, which they didn't do, which is pretty neat. So if you do just want one set of arms, you can do that without buying both of them. So there you go. Obviously, the figures in this wave, really quickly, let me just say them all. We got the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, Morbius, Jack-O-Lantern, Venom, Beetle, and Speed Demon. Excellent set, and I really do love Spider-Man figures, so Spider-Man characters, so it was nice to get a really good range of characters there. Going over Absorbing Man himself. Alright, so this was a Build-A-Figure that, it's not like one of my most anticipated Build-A-Figures of all time. It was, I really can't even remember his name, but a YouTuber put it perfectly. He said, somebody that was doing this review, he said, it really felt like in this wave that building the Build-A-Figure was the bonus for getting them all instead of the reason to get them all. I completely agree with that. That's really what this Build-A-Figure seemed like. It wasn't like everybody else in this figure sucked and I just bought them to get the Build-A-Figure. It was that the Build-A-Figure was kind of just the extra bonus for buying all the figures, which is really cool. Going over his head sculpt, he does come with 2. This is what I would consider the much better face sculpt in general. I think he just looks awesome. Alright, as you can see, he is screaming. You've got some great emotion there. I love figures that have a really nice emotion in the face. As you can see, his eye looks great. His other eye is kind of gold. I don't know why it's gold, but it actually looks really cool. So nevertheless, I really do like it. The teeth are painted extremely well too. It doesn't look like there's any sort of paint issues on the teeth there, which is really nice. And I love the way that his head is turning to stone. I think that they've mixed it in really nicely. Do have kind of like a speckled effect on top. It really looks like he's turning to stone, which is really cool. There's even a couple spots of stone on his head. I'm not quite sure if that's intentional, but either way, I think it looks good, so I don't have a problem with it. He does kind of sort of have a pinhead type of design, but that's basically Absorbing Man's design, so that completely fits the character. And he absolutely looks great. And as you can see, there is an arm that's specifically kind of meant for going with this head, and it's the arm that's kind of turning to stone. I think that this just looks awesome. The actual way that they have sculpted the stone is really cool. It's not like it's just this hand, but painted in stone. It's actually a completely new design, which is really nice, and I think that it looks excellent. And then I do like the way it kind of fades out here, but they do have kind of just a kind of spray line of stone to kind of tie this arm in more with the head, so it looks like it's this half of his body that's becoming stone first before he's completely taken over by it. So I do like that a lot. I think that that looks wonderful, and this is actually how I like him displayed, with the stone head with the stone arm and then the wood arm. The wood arm was one that I wasn't looking forward to at all, just not because it looked bad or anything, just because I thought that the stone regular arm and the metal arm looked cooler. However, I actually really do actually love the wood arm. I think that it's painted super well. It's sculpted really nicely. Again, it's a completely new sculpt. As you can see, you do even have some his knuckles, like over here, you do have like a little bit of a twig off of his knuckle on his thumb, which is really nice. See if that can focus. There we go. As you can see, that looks really cool, and I do like it a lot, and I like the kind of bark that's kind of coming off of the arms. The only major problem I have with the arms that are being turned into some sort of element is the fact that his elbow straight out of the package didn't have the paint fully painted on the joint area, which is a shame. You can obviously see his skin texture. Now, if you do bend his arms a bit, that's completely hidden, so that's nice, but it's still, I would have absolutely loved this to be fixed and not looking so bad. Same deal on the silver arm, but I'll show you that in a second. I have taken some pictures of him fighting Groot with this arm. It looks wonderful. I'll definitely be posting them on Instagram if you want to follow me to check out those pictures, because he just looks great fighting Groot like that. Alright, let's give you the look of him without with the two separate arms on, as well as the other head. Alright, so here he is with the more somewhat calm face sculpt, the regular left arm, and then the right arm that's turning to metal. This is a really nice setup as well. The only other complaint that I would have is that I really wish that he did come with a right arm that's regular too. It would have been nice to just have a full regular Absorbing Man. However, I can't imagine many people would display him like that, because obviously his power is so unique and cool. You definitely should represent it with the toy. So, although I would have liked a regular arm, I certainly wouldn't have sacrificed any of these element arms for a regular arm, but it would have been a nice bonus. As you can see, this face sculpt, really don't like it. When the original, official images of it came out, I did make a video just talking about the entire wave, and I said how I really didn't like this head sculpt, and I thought it was mainly just a bad version that the person taking the photos got. However, it does seem that the original release is that bad. It looks awful. Like this side, he's got the big bulging eye, and then this side, his eye looks completely sleepy. I have to say, I believe that it's this eye that is the one that's the main issue. I think if they were both matched like this, he wouldn't look good. If they were both matched like this, he would look good, though. As you can see, I think that looks pretty decent if the other side was like that, but this side, he just kind of looks a little strange. But either way, I wish that they matched, because they really don't. His arm on this side is really nice. I mean, they've sculpted it really well, and he does have a fist. Obviously, he's not turning into anything there, though. The more interesting one is the metal arm. I think that they've painted this metal arm so well. I think it looks fantastic. It really does. It looks like it's steel that his arm is turning into, which is so cool. And I love the way it's sprayed onto his bicep to make it look like it's slowly taking him all over. I think it absolutely looks fantastic. I will say, of course, you do have the same issue where you can see part of his skin on the joint, which is such a shame. He does come with a Wrecking Ball, which comes with Spider-Gwen. Here it is. This is a repaint of a Wrecking Ball that came with Thunderball as well as Pile Driver back in 2012. Their Wrecking Ball looks so much better. Definitely looks more realistic, more depth to it, and the color matches his arm a lot better than this, which is just plain gray. So I would highly recommend, if you do have either of those wreckers, to loan their Wrecking Ball out to Absorbing Man here, because I think he looks really cool. It's a little bit hard to get it in his hand, like in a proper position. I don't know why. I've struggled with it. Obviously, I can get him to hold it. It's just, it takes like force, and it takes just kind of the right position to get him to hold it, which is weird. But you can get him to hold it. There we go. As you can see, perfect. He looks really nice like that. I think that he looks good with his signature Wrecking Ball. The Wrecking Ball, I did learn quite recently that it actually has the same power as him, because Loki possessed Absorbing Man, or granted him this power while he was in jail and while he was wearing the Wrecking Ball, and that's why it has the same type of power as him, which is really neat. And he does look really nice holding the Wrecking Ball in general. Alright. So now enough with the interchangeable parts. Let's talk about the actual sculpt of the figure. Really nice. I do like the actual body. It does have some really cool veins on it, which I think is really nicely sculpted. And tons of just detail on the torso there. I mean, there's just... over here, it's a bit much with all the muscles, I must say, but it does still look really cool. And on the back, he does have a ton of muscles as well. He's wearing bright purple pants with black stripes, and then his kind of glossy black shoes. really do like the look of the figure in general. Articulation, he's got a ball jointed head, no hinge, so he really can't look up very far. He can look down as far as the ball joint, which is quite nice. So I would have liked a hinge for him to look up. He has ball hinge shoulders, bicep swivel, hinge on the elbow, and hinge swivel wrists. That's the case on all 4 arms. He has an ab crunch, which can go back very far, as well as forward quite far. He has a swivel at the waist. He has ball hinge thighs with thigh swivel, double hinge knees, and hinge pivoting ankles. The pivot is slightly hindered by his outfit, by the bottom of the pants, but not much. So he does have a decent range of articulation. Obviously, the only place I think that he's lacking is the head. So I would watch out for that. If you are kind of one that kind of likes to build a few Build-A-Figures, there is definitely a possibility to build more Build-A-Figures with this guy, because if you do buy the entire wave, you'll obviously get an extra set of arms and an extra head. I did buy 2 jack-o'-lanterns in this wave just because I really love the jack-o'-lantern figure, and because of that I have an extra right or left leg. So really what I plan to do is just watch eBay and hopefully get an extra right leg and an extra torso on a good deal, and I'll build a second Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure, considering he can have 2 different looks. So you can definitely do that. And I really do like the fact that you do have a ton of different arms and heads to kind of express whatever type of look you like the best, which is really cool. And Absorbing Man has such a unique power that I am happy that they did kind of give him a Build-A-Figure so that they could really demonstrate his power with a bunch of accessories. The only other accessory that I really would have loved to have, although I don't expect it or anything, so this isn't a complaint, it's just something that would have been really cool, is if he had a kind of tree branch that he could hold with his right arm that's kind of wood. I think that would have looked really cool. Obviously, again, not necessary though. That's just personally, that would have been really cool to see. Overall, excellent Build-A-Figure to complete an excellent wave. So I would highly recommend getting this entire wave, not to build the Build-A-Figure, but to actually have the figures, and the Build-A-Figure on top of them is just really great, and just absolutely is the cherry on top of the amazing wave, which is just great. So there you go. That's my video review of the Marvel Legends Absorbing Man wave of the Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure. Thanks so much for watching. Also, really quickly, I wanted to add this on the end because I forgot to talk about it, but his size, he's a pretty decent sized Build-A-Figure. He's basically as tall as the Wreckers, and then when you compare him to a normal figure in this wave, like Speed Demon, he is quite a bit taller and bulkier than him. Obviously, he's not the biggest Build-A-Figure of all time, for sure, considering the Wreckers are just about as big as him, and they came out individually without being a Build-A-Figure. However, you do obviously get all the extra accessories, like an extra head and 2 fully articulated extra arms. So I do think that he is a really nice size Build-A-Figure when you consider that he does come with accessories when most Build-A-Figures don't come with any accessories.